C1. You are listening at FameTV.info. At the wedding, the screams were unending and very noisy. Lin Suyi was indifferent to this. She just looked at her on the ground, with blood flowing from her abdomen. She's dead. How did she die? Being stabbed head on. She should have remembered who killed him, but she didn't have the slightest impression of it. He had become a ghost all of a sudden. Suddenly, a beam of light shone in, and all the people around her disappeared. Lin Suyi felt that the light became more and more glaring, until he could not stand it any longer and closed his eyes. When she regained consciousness, she found it hard to breathe. When someone kissed her, she refused to say, "Scram." However, it was useless. Lin Suyi slept for a long time. When she woke up, it was already late in the morning. She opened her eyes, but nothing happened. She just stared at the ceiling. Not long later, she heard someone walking towards her. "You're awake." When the familiar voice reached her ears, Lin Suyi glanced at the person who seemed to have taken a bath. The person's hair was still wet, and he was only wearing a bathrobe. This person was very familiar to her, but her hairstyle, "When did you cut your bangs?" Lin Suyi frowned, his voice was still hoarse. "What's going on now?" "You drank too much last night, so we." However, Chen Pai walked in front of her. "I always have bangs, why do you ask?" Lin Suyi hugged the blanket and half sat up. In her memory, she had only slept with Chen Niu once. She seemed to have drank too much. Then he asked her to marry him, and she agreed, and the two of them were getting married, but... "She's dead." If she thought of something, Lin Suyi suddenly asked. "I want to know, what year is it now?" Chen Xiang looked at her in confusion. 2017. Lin Suyi's pupils suddenly contracted. She had actually returned to 5 years ago, the worst and darkest year she ever lived in, 2017. Then last night, Lin Suyi looked at Chen Ming, and his face suddenly turned ashen. He did not expect that he would be unable to turn the tables on her, but she did, and she did not love him. There was someone else she liked. Seeing that Lin Suyi did not ask further about what happened last night, a dark glint flashed past Chen Pingyuan's eyes, but he did not say anything. He turned around and picked up the clothes on the chair, took off his bathrobe and changed his clothes. Lin Suyi picked up her clothes from the ground. Without knowing that Chen Guo was changing her clothes, she looked at her husband's back again. She quickly retracted her gaze and looked at the man's shoulder. The place was clean and devoid of any traces of life. She was a little confused. Last night, she had clearly bitten his shoulder. Lin Suyi asked as he changed his clothes. "Last night, I asked you to take me to Paris. You said that. Are you still going to make the decision now?" The man remained silent for a while and quickly replied, "Of course, when have I ever lied to you?" Lin Suyi squinted. Last night, she had only said the word F*ck off to that person. And Paris. No matter when, even if it was subconscious, she would not take the initiative to ask to go. So, who was the one who had slept with her last night? After each of them had changed their clothes, Chen Ming suggested sending Lin Suyi home, but Lin Suyi rejected him. In her previous life, she wasn't as calm as she was now. She thought that she really had a relationship with Chen Pai, so she didn't think about the whole situation. Now that she knew it was a scam, she no longer had her calm on the surface. Just when Chen Yi was about to leave after receiving a call, Lin Suyi stood on the spot and watched him. When she turned around, she saw a car stop in front of her. The car window slowly rolled down, revealing the man's handsome and fair face. His deep eyes looked at her, but before he could say anything, Lin Suyi had already frozen on the spot. Qin Yin. She actually saw Qin Yin at the entrance of the hotel. The one that she had liked for many years. Qin Yin. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.